What's going on, Workforce? Brian here, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down Mewtwo as far as his ups, downs, lefts, rights, smashes, and all the good stuff that you want to know when getting started with this character. Now before we begin, I do want to give a special shout out to Rizzo for helping proofread my notes, as well as Nintendo for providing Work to Game an additional copy of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in to Mewtwo. Now, a few notes on Mewtwo. First, he is a very light character despite having such a, I guess a bigger built frame, pretty tall, etc. So he's considered one more of the lighter ones, not the lightest by any means. Now, a light character in Smash Bros. Just means that you're going to launch much further than other targets. Plus, the positive side is that it allows you to escape combos much easier as well. So there's pluses and minuses to playing as Mewtwo, but don't assume that despite his size, he is essentially a heavy type character. The other thing to note is Mewtwo has a lot of speed. It's easy for him to cover a lot of distance very easily, as well as a lot of height. So he's light and he's fast, especially for his stature and his long reach with his tail and his dashes. He is a really powerful all-around fighter. So for his normal neutral, you can just see I can just press, and if I press once, it's just going to be this light jab. This has about 1.9 squares worth of range, and if I get in, you can see it's going to put 3.6% damage out on the target. However, if I press and hold, I'm going to do a multi-hit combo that's going to eventually push me back to where I'm out of range. However, releasing the button will connect for 25.8% damage total. I can release the button at any time to obviously launch my target. I can even see it depending on where you are, can get even up to 27.7% depending on when you time your release. Now the final hit of it actually has 3 squares worth of range in its distance, so you can actually catch the target really well. Plus, it also has the ability to catch multiple targets with its hit. Your up tilt is this nice little back tail kick. You can see it gets up to 3 in height right above Mewtwo's head. It also has a range of 2 right in front of Mewtwo's body and 1.2 squares from the rear. Depending on where you hit, you're going to see that it's got a different pushback or a launch up. So hitting with the full force of the tail is going to put out anywhere from 6% to 7% of damage, and it's also going to have a little juggling ability. From range, you can see it has a little knockback and it's less damage, so it's going to push him horizontally. But the timing on the horizontal knockback versus just being up close, most likely you're going to end up getting a juggle. Your side tilt is going to be this long tail, and you can see that you got some knockback potential there, around 9.6% damage to 12% damage, depending on if you get them with the full force of the hit, which you can also hear audibly by how it connects. Your down tilt is another tail swipe here with a range of 2.3 squares, and this is going to put out anywhere from 4.8 to 6% depending on where you connect with what part of the tail, either the tail end or the full force. You can see that depending on the connection, you can either push them back horizontally or you can juggle them a little bit as well. So if you're up close, you'll push them up, and if you're far away, you'll push them back. Mewtwo's speed and also dash attack can be used for 14.4% damage. Alright, so now let's jump into his air attacks. His neutral is Body Spark, and it has a multi-hit which can actually pull in targets. You can see this putting out anywhere from 10 to 14.4% damage. And it has a little bit of launching power if you time it just right. Your up air is this nice tail kick which can put out anywhere from 10 to 12% worth of the damage. It's got 2 squares of range from your body in the air and can even go up and behind you as well. So it does a lot of damage and it has a lot of range to it. Now your down air has less range, but it does have a little spike to it, and it can put out 18% damage on your target. Your forward air is Shadow Scratch, is going to put out 15.6% damage. Now if you use this while ascending, you're going to get the most out of it. And the attack is very fast, but it also has a lot of launching power. So just keep that in mind. Mewtwo's back air is this little tail flip at 15.6% damage. Depending on how you connect, this can vary just slightly in the connection. I've seen it anywhere from 12 to 15.6 depending on contact. Alright, so now it's time to talk about his smashes, his up, down, and side. So for up, it's Galaxy Force. This attack can strike an enemy multiple times if you hit them at the right time. It's also very difficult to escape this attack when it's over, and it's going to put out around 26.8% damage. So if you're not familiar how to do a smash attack, just press and hold the right stick in any direction, and as long as you hold it up, it's going to charge, and once you release, it's going to execute the smash move. You can also do the same thing by pressing the left stick and holding the normal attack button in the direction as well. So for his side smash, you're going to see a range of 3 squares here at 33.6% damage. However, if you're within a range of 1.6, you're only going to see 26.8% damage. The reason is that the shockwave does more damage at the very edge than its core. So you want to time it and you want to kind of distance it. The more damage is actually at the range of 3 squares as opposed to up close and personal. So down is his Shadow Bomb. This attack's only going to strike right by his feet at 26.8% damage. The range on this is 2 squares worth of range. So just keep that in mind. It does have a nice lot of, I guess, horizontal and vertical launching power, if you can see that here. So you can do this to really kind of get your target off of your side. But again, it's very short. You can see here me executing it right here. Because I'm not within 2 squares, it's not going to hit the target. So just keep that in mind. And it only executes in front of you. You're not going to see anything kind of going on behind you. So just watch your back. All right, so let's talk about Mewtwo's special moves. His special neutral is charging Shadow Ball. I just press the button here and it's just going to charge up, and then I'm going to sit here and hold it. This move does more damage the longer it's charged, but it also has more recoil, especially if you're using it in midair. It will stop or even knock you backwards. Mewtwo's not going to automatically attack, so I just press the button, it's going to fully charge. I have to press it again, or I need to shield or dodge cancel to get out of the attack, but I still retain the charge. Now at fully charged, I'm going to get 17.5 to 18 squares worth of range. So if I come here around 17.5, 18 squares, I can go and press the button, and I can execute it for 30% damage at full charge. Now, with no charge, I'm gonna get about 12 squares worth of range. You can see I can just pop that out and toss it out. It's gonna wiggle along, and it's only going to do 3% damage with no charge to it. So not a lot of damage, but from a person who's attacking, this is a good way to kind of cancel them. This is a good way to kind of slightly knock them back from an approach perspective. Now again, it's always just better advice to have a fully charged attack ready to execute at any time. Now his side special is Confusion. This special grabbing move lets Mewtwo repel foes with telekinesis. So it also can reflect enemy projectiles. This move is going to send the opponent spinning, and sometimes it can get followed up by an attack, since the time it takes your opponent to be able to move again is affected by actually how much damage they have. So the more I do it, it's going to take them longer to respond to me. The range on this is going to be at 2.5 squares. So like out here, it's just not going to do anything. You just got to keep getting up close and personal to be able to do that. And you can also see that the base damage here is 10.8%. Now his down special is Disable. Now one thing you get to know is that it is important that the target is looking at you. If their back is to you and they're charging up, it is going to be completely ignored. So it's important that they make eye contact with this ability. Now, the range on this is also fairly short, just under, or right under 3 squares, and only 1.2% damage. This is not a damaging ability, but as you can see here, I can stun them. The more damage that they have on them, the higher percentage they have, the longer the stun is going to last. So you have that, and you can easily follow this up with combos, you can follow this up with grabs. This is really important if they're trying to do a side smash or any kind of attack that charges up. You can see you can just stun them right out of it right then and there. But again, they have to look at you. Mewtwo's up special is Teleport. This will disappear for a moment and you're going to reappear somewhere on the stage. Depending on the direction that you place, you can actually have a little bit of momentum depending on where you decide to teleport. So pressing up special and down is going to have you teleport right back to there. Up special and right will have you teleport right, up special and back, back. Same thing for the angles. And you can see here that you actually have a little bit of momentum and that will carry you forward several more squares, and this can be very handy for recovery. You are completely invulnerable while teleporting. If you finish this move on the ground, Mewtwo will actually stop in place, but the move, if it finishes in air, the momentum, like I said, is going to carry you even further. Now, if Mewtwo hits a platform while teleporting, it will slide across it, so you can adjust the destination, obviously with your inputs like I've just kind of shown you here. So for my experimenting with Mewtwo's recovery, you can do a little side swipe, a little up special, and get a nice bit of momentum, easily getting around 29 squares worth of recovery. So you have, and you want to use that teleport to your best advantage, and that momentum that you're using is going to help. This can easily help to teleport to the right or left, as opposed to just using it to teleport straight up. Use your control stick for the right angle for your approach when recovering. Okay, so let's cover Mewtwo's grabs here. So his down is going to put out nice 10.8%. His forward Shadow Cannon is also going to do these various shadow orbs that can damage other people. And you're going to see this at 15.6%. But as you can see here, it's at an angle so that the other targets obviously have to be in that angle range. So just kind of use this to your advantage as best as possible. So Mewtwo's up throw is Psychic Whirlwind. This actually has a lot of launching power compared to other fighters' throws as well. And you can see the base damage here is at 14.4%. And finally, his back throw is at 12% damage, you can see here. And then obviously if you keep holding the stick, you nice to do a little dodge as well. If you don't hold the stick back, you're not going to just dodge, because obviously you're holding the dodge button. So it kind of works out real well and kind of cool to be able to follow up with some additional attacks while they're recovering. All right, so now let's talk about Mewtwo's final smash, Psy-Strike. This is going to transform Mewtwo into Mega Mewtwo Y, and it's going to fire a projectile that penetrates any terrain and opponents in the way. It's got 30 squares of range, and you can see it pumps out 48% damage. And like I said, you can easily go and grab multiple targets into its mode to be able to get them to all blast off. Hitting multiple targets reduces the total damage overall, but not by much, by only 8% per target. Well guys, that wraps it up for this Mewtwo 101 guide. My name's Brian and this is Work to Game. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Let me know who you want to see next in the comments below as well. I hope this has been a help. Hopefully this has kind of taught you the ups, downs, lefts, and rights, the basic understanding of what Mewtwo is. We'll be putting out more guides on more characters as we continue to develop our Smash knowledge and hopefully help you guys out as well. But like I said, my name's Brian. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. We love to hear from you. We love to talk with you. All things Smash related. So without further ado, I wish you guys the best week possible, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.
Hey guys, it's me. Oh, well, if you don't know me, my name's Terry. I'm a beautiful Tyrannosaurus from Texas, and it just doesn't get more country than that. I tell you what, I grew up in these parts, I was resurrected by a ghost, and that ghost told me that I needed to come out and hang out on Work to Game's YouTube channel. To tell everybody, they should totally hit that thumbs up. Thumbs down make Terry hungry. It makes me hungry. You hear me? Hungry. Anyway, Terry, just keep it together. Keep it together, Terry. All right, guys. So, with that, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and hit subscribe if you haven't already to see more of me and my beautiful nose. Okay. All right. Good talking to you. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you real soon. Terry, the Tyrannosaurus from Texas,